guy on a train with a baseball, and the train is going one direction at 40 miles an hour, say, and he hangs his arm out the train window and throws a baseball the opposite direction at 40 miles an hour. Now, if you're on the side of the train track, that ball will appear out of nowhere and just fall straight to the ground if the speeds are perfect, because everything's canceled out. Now, that's all well and good, but what I want to do is put a device on a, say, a flatbed trailer truck and get that trailer going at, say, highway speeds down the highway, and we'll have a slingshot on the back of that truck that I can get into at precisely the right speed. Now, for some reason, they won't let me do that, but we've proven that it actually works at a small scale. Cary Grant and Torrey did that with a baseball, but you know, they're still fighting me. One of the key things that we do whenever we run into this kind of problem, if there's a question with safety, is we say that we're going to do it incrementally. And I go to the network like, well, what if we did it at 5 miles an hour? I can run that fast. It's certainly safe. And they go, yeah. And so, okay, well, if that's safe and we prove that, how about 10? How about 20? You know, and on we go. So eventually, I think we'll get it there, as well as given the fact that we just did an episode that'll start airing in the new season about bubble wrap, which was also from another YouTube video where somebody wraps himself with bubble wrap and jumps off a building and survives, which we have now replicated. I won't tell you what the results are. But, needless to say, we're experts at providing ourselves with padding now. Next question. Young man right there, I think. Do I really and truly enjoy seeing Adam in pain? Well, there are times when I can't help myself. But, overall, I think we both actually look out for each other. Seriously, we've gotten to a place where, as far as the stuff that we do, that we're the only experts that cover this kind of thing. And that's one of the things that Adam will talk about in a minute about the phone books. And so, as far as having somebody looking out after our safety, it's us. Let's see, in the aisle right back there, black shirt, or yes, Mythbusters shirt. Besides the cannonball going into the house incident, what's the second worst thing that's ever happened? We're very fortunate that nobody got hurt in that, and we take that very seriously. I have to say that in spite of that kind of incident, now after 10 years of shooting the show, a couple hundred hours of programming, thousands of explosions and car wrecks and mayhem of all sorts, nobody has gotten seriously hurt on the show. We've actually the only serious injuries we've had, I suppose you could say that, are 3 broken fingers from handling our safety equipment. Those glass panels that you see us carry around weigh close to a couple hundred pounds a piece, and if you get your fingers in between them, they'll break them. So as far as serious accidents and worse things, I really don't have anything to compare. The cannonball was pretty much it. Everything. I take that back. Adam reminded me that I broke my nose, and that was literally I broke my own nose, because we had done a Batman episode where we were testing the thing that Batman often fires up into a concrete wall overhead or something with a string on it. And he's got a winch built into his wrist, and he goes straight up. I built one of those and made it do that, but the problem was that once I got up to the top, it didn't want to come back down. There was a snag in the string, and so I found myself having to essentially do a one-arm chin-up, or at least as close as I could get to that, and pull out my knife and reach up and cut the string. But of course here I am pulling downward with this rather large piece of metal in my hand. And I was pulling down with every ounce of strength I had, so it broke my nose. Let's see, somebody up there, yes, you.
Okay. What's the most rewarding part about being a Mythbuster? What's the most rewarding part about Mythbusters?
Oh, hold on, I'm pointing at the I believe it's a young man in a light shirt, and he's waving his hand. That's you, yes. What was our favorite myth that we busted? Let's see. Adam? Hey, Adam. Help me out with that one. I don't remember because we don't pay any attention. We're not biased as to whether things are busted or not. What's our favorite myth that we busted?
That we busted. We really don't care whether something gets busted in the beginning or plausible or confirmed. I can't think of one where we're like, yeah, it's busted in your face, man.
Yeah, we have our favorite myths, but
usually the surprise is when something turns out to be confirmed. That's usually when we're most surprised. We're like, I didn't see that coming. Like Lethal Weapon. The whole beginning of Lethal Weapon 2 with the toilet bomb, totally true. We never would have seen that. We were laughing hysterical.
I guess we're happy that pyramid power was busted.
Yeah.
Although
I don't hear that crap again.
Sorry. Let's see. I want somebody else up. I can't see. Okay, I can't even see with the lights. Okay, yeah, I see you all the way in the back up there, big guy. Yeah. Let me see if I got that right. What is the falling land-air speed of a swallow? Is that correct?
He knows the answer.
It's apparently a Monty Python reference. I'm not familiar with. I can tell you what the terminal velocity of a human is. Let's see. A woman right there, yes. How many different ways have we used the chicken cannon? Well, the chicken cannon was one of our earliest episodes, and I'm reminded of it actually every day because in my office, which is on the front of the shop, when we were doing that experimentation, we were doing that right out in front of the shop, and firing chickens at hundreds of miles an hour at things tends to spray chicken flesh everywhere. And so I've got chicken flesh that's about 10 years old on the roof of my office because I had the window open. I think the chicken cannon itself was actually retired after that particular episode. We have since then made a lot of other pressure vessels and cannons. In fact, at this point I think we've made dozens of cannons, including the one with the aforementioned hole in the house. Yeah, I think that's the answer to the question. I think that's the only one. Last question. Young man right there. What's my favorite explosion? Let's see. I guess there was something that I like explosions when you actually do productive things with them rather than just destroy stuff. And And there was one that I was thinking about the other day that we did in Alaska, because this was a story where, let's see, somebody buys a new USV or a new what? SUV, sorry. He buys a brand new SUV. He takes his buddies out to celebrate. They get a little toasty and they decide to go ice fishing because it's winter. And so they need a hole in the lake, and you know, they're not thinking too straight. They drive the USV or the SUV out, and they decide they're going to throw some dynamite out on the lake to blow a hole so they can go fishing. The problem is that there's a Labrador Retriever with him, and he sees the dynamite that is lit, goes and fetches it, tries to bring it back to them, whereupon they open fire and start shooting at the dog. It runs for the SUV, and the dog and the SUV blow up and end up in the lake. Now, there's a problem with testing that. We did the whole... and the problem, which I was tickled with, because we thought it through beforehand. It's like, once you blow a hole in the lake, which was no particular problem, you've got to get the SUV back out of the lake, and you know, because we don't want to pollute the lake or whatever. But it's frozen solid, and it's not like we can drive a crane out there because we've blown a hole in the lake. So how are we going to get it out? Well, I go to the bomb techs, and knowing them, I said, you guys normally show up with a lot more explosives than you have to, if I'm not mistaken. And they kind of grinned and said, yep. I said, well, do you think you could kind of set a row of explosives along the ice after we've blown the hole with the SUV in it, and create me a channel? And they said, yep. So we tied a cable onto the SUV, and when it sank, we just pulled the whole thing, dragged it along the bottom of the lake, and pulled it up and out. So it worked beautifully. But actually seeing that series of explosions going along this, creating this canal, was just, it was perfect. It was beautiful. It was just like boom, and there was a canal that wasn't there before. Thank you very much.